Working the desk?
Oh, hey, bro. I was going to make...
Lovely cat.
That's on camera.
Delete that.
Great work. There we go. Boom, on the legs. Yes. Last go, boys. Let's do it. Guys, jump up, walk around, please. Cheers, Glenn. What up, mate?
Yeah, boy.
That was so good.
Big touch of dips in no time. Look, he's getting that ankle lock. We are joined by the big Jack Della Maddalena.
We're back.
Benny Snickers, as Woodsy used to call you.
Yeah,
Many people used to call me that, mate.
AKA Ben Betted. If you've been watching, if you've been watching Jack's YouTube channel that's launched, I'm a big fan.
The man
Ben
behind the
Betted.
camera.
Ben Betted. He was.
I can work with that.
Yeah, self-named. He named himself that.
No, steady on. It was a group think tank.
Sure it was.
You never see any more content. Anyway, that's Jack's lot. 2 videos and he's done with YouTube.
I was a big fan. I watched it a couple of times.
Yeah,
Good.
another video dropping soon.
Do ya?
Yeah, so we keep it.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep him going leading into the fight.
How good's Della's earphone? It's like the gangster holding the... I was just looking at your collie. I was thinking they probably don't fit, eh?
It looked like he was about to drop the best rap bar of all time.
I'm feeling it. You can just fuck them off if you want. Yeah.
What's going on, boys? It's been a this is tradition pre-fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last time we were here was just after. I think after the last fight.
After
So it was
Burns.
a while ago.
Yeah, the knee that stopped the nation.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just been recovering from injury. Then I think it was like we were doing the podcast like right before I had surgery, or I was about to have surgery. I can't remember.
You'd had one lot, I think,
Maybe
of
I had
surgery.
one, and then it just like flared up sort of a couple of days after the podcast.
Yeah.
It was just like a uphill battle, but
That was hectic, eh?
yeah,
How
it was
many
just,
surgeries in there?
It was 4 surgeries. So it was like, so it was a lot. The last 2 were like back to back, 2 days apart. Yeah, but it was just getting rid of infection, but we got there.
Yeah. So how did it keep getting infected?
I don't know. I think it was just, I don't know for sure. It was unlucky. Was on antibiotics before the fight. So sometimes they reckon that can sort of mess with the antibiotics they give you in surgery. But it was just, I think it was just unlucky.
Ben's having a hard old time with the door.
Wrestling the door.
Yeah, it was just a bit of a run of like unfortunate
Yeah,
events.
pretty much. But it's sort of, had a good run up until that. So it's part of the sport, injuries sort of hit everyone. So
And in reality, like you went out for that long compared to some fighters are out for way longer and they're not even injured.
Yeah, it was March last year. So we're going to that 14 months.
You would have been back earlier though, but then the opportunity arose, so we pushed a little bit longer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Funny how things work out.
Yeah, I was ready to fight in Sydney, which is February. That didn't happen. We ended up, booked for March, and then, obviously that fell through and got the title fight. So
you've in effect had a double length camp, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it feels like it.
How's the champ camp? I've been loving watching footage of that.
Yeah, it's been sick. Yeah, that was sick. Just going to watch a Volk fight, watching him train and then seeing him back it up in the fight is pretty awesome.
You were training with him though, right?
Yeah.
Like were you doing hard rounds?
Yeah, we were doing hard rounds. We were right in there. So it was like, and he was obviously at that I think we were there like the second last week of training, third week out.
How many sessions did you get in?
I was there for probably six days. I think I did the Friday night, trained Saturday morning, and then just Monday to Friday double sessions. So like, yeah, good 12, 13 sessions.
That's so sick.
So it's pretty cool.
And you think about, like, there's not too many Belal type people around, but Volk's like almost a perfect version of him, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
We've got a few actually. We've got Jack Becker, who's very Belal-esque, more exciting than Belal, obviously.
Yeah.
But Jack's got that forward pressure, wants to grapple game. But Becker is way more patient, like on hitting the hips, and he backs his stand up. He's got knockouts on his resume and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Glenn Pettigrew, like former opponent of both the Della brothers,
Yeah.
now in part of the scrappy team. He's a legend. He's been helping us out heaps, and he is the perfect sort of replica.
He was a nugget. I was just watching his train then. He's thick, eh?
Strong,
how
fit.
How high is Belal?
I think sort of my height, maybe a bit shorter than me.
Oh, he looks so short, eh?
Yeah, he might be a little bit short. He's pretty thick, like short, sort of stocky build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and Google Belal height or anything like that?
No. I've seen him once. And I feel like I was a bit taller.
Where was that?
I went to Montreal. Sort of just to release the fight, pretty much, just in and out.
And respectful with both.
Yeah, I didn't really we passed him once. I didn't really say anything. No, I think we both know there's a job to do, you know?
Yeah.
It's business time. So, yeah, it's exciting.
I was thinking that was pretty cool, like a long way to go for a presser, but just seeing the airport, being a little bit familiar.
Yeah, I wasn't too opposed. It was a long way to go. I wasn't too opposed to the idea. I was just, it's like big opportunity. I was just stoked to get the opportunity and then just roll with it.
It's insane how that all played out. Like, obviously, you were shaping up for London.
Yeah.
And then it played out perfect. Like you were saying, Whitey, now you got a chance to go to Montreal and get the belt.
Yeah.
The sport moves so quick.
Really quick. Yeah, it was not something you'd never think if you had have thought back a couple of months that was the way it plays out. But the thing with the sport, people always fall through, and then they try and change matches around. And then, so I guess we've always thought you just got to be ready to go. Big opportunities always seem to pop up, and the person that's showed that they're ready to take the opportunities, they'll give them the opportunities.
And like you've always said, like you don't, because people have asked these questions before, and you're like, you don't really do fight camps. You always stay ready. How you're always training. You're always your day to day life is that.
Pretty much. I try and live the life like a martial artist. I feel like I'm just blessed to be able to do that as my full time job. So I love it. I'm blessed to be able to just train all day, and then when we get the fight, it's more just figuring out. The coaches come together, figure out the best way to approach the fight, and then I guess we just work on the game plan.
Yeah,
which is always much the same, but obviously there's little tweaks you do.
That's kind of different though, changing from Leon to Belal.
yeah, it is for sure.
Few tweaks there. Right?
Yeah.
Do you recall where you were when you got the news? Like, I imagine that's such a life-changing moment. Hearing that.
There was I guess there was a couple of calls. The first one I was in Sydney, UFC, found out that Shavkat was not going to fight Belal. And then it was sort of just I knew at that point there could be a possibility that the whole landscape sort of changes. But then I think I was at the park, and then Tim called me and basically said that you've got the fight, not 100% confirmed, but it was pretty much you get the fight if you want to take it. And it was just a no-brainer. I was stoked.
What did we have? We had like 10 days sitting on the news too. So, when I came to do the podcast, it was Leon. It was that day, actually. It was the very day we got confirmation. Yeah. So we didn't talk. We'll notice on the last podcast we didn't even talk about the Leon fight, really, because I was like, I don't really want to talk about a fight that's not going to happen.
Yep.
But I can't talk about the new one. So we sort of skirted over it. So it was a bit weird. Like, it was hard sitting on it for those few days. But we'd been sort of strongly warned that if it broke, then it would be off. So, it's hard keeping the cat in the bag sometimes, especially with news like that. And especially when everyone's asking you about another fight and you're having to talk shit about the other fight when you know it's not happening. It was a kind of weird spot. But
you must have so many cats in your bag, eh? Like so much stuff that you know.
I got a lot of cats in the bag.
I'm just trying to think.
I'm not going to let too many cats out the bag.
There's a big Dustin Poirier cat in the bag too, eh? There's like so many fights that they know, but they're not announcing.
Islam, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, and he even wants to come
get your bet.
that'd be nice. That'd
come
be
have
the
a taste
dream.
of the Della, eh?
How fucking crazy is that how
yeah.
things can move. You
That'd
beat
be
Belal,
nice,
then
that'd be
Islam
nice.
comes up and you can ice him.
Yeah, in Perth.
That would
a
be
bit
amazing.
of a story. Like,
Yeah.
Volk
Revenge.
Yeah.
You'll be the most
We'll
hated
see,
man
we'll
in the
see
Middle
how-
East.
You know, and anything's possible, eh? But get through Belal, and then I think, I guess just opportunities will present themselves.
It's funny, even you got to navigate through stuff because remember you were talking, you'd had a whole family holiday plan, get back to England,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, how'd you sell that to the wife? We're going to Canada.
She's not coming.
Yeah, I know. And you're divorced.
No, it is what it is. Like I wouldn't change anything for anything. You know, like we booked a few flights, but they can be banked and we can go another time. And this is the opportunity that we've worked all our lives for, all our careers for, and we've been pursuing this dream for a decade together. You know, so for it to come together, and you know, I'm very confident that Jack comes home the welterweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
How long did it take to decide, yes, I'll take the fight, or no, I won't?
It was it was a given, you know. And Tim,
Like,
and
are we talking instant?
Yeah,
You're
well, I
like-
didn't even need to say yes to it. Tim pretty much said yes on my behalf. I think Tim and Sean sort of know where I stand. Has always been best guy, the best person I can possibly fight.
Yeah.
Has always been it. So even I don't even think Sean would have asked him. You know, I think it was probably Sean just saying like, "Yeah, we're going to give Jack the fight," and then.
Yeah.
There was no more questions.
And same
to
with
it,
you, Ben. You
pretty
didn't even
much.
have to think about it?
No, who's going to say no to that? I mean, that's everyone's
do.
goal.
I remember
and
someone
you,
had a title shot and
you eliminate all the banana skins prior to getting to your goal. Like every fight's a banana skin, potential banana skin. It's 4-ounce gloves. Anything can happen. So if you can get there and get your shot early, then let's go. Like that's what we got here. That's what we came to the UFC to do. We didn't come to get a tracksuit and an Instagram following. We came to win the world title. You know, the rest of it's immaterial.
Yeah. Speaking of the tracksuits, thanks. I got one. I was wondering, how do you already know what colour you'll be? Like what corner?
Blue
Champs
corner.
red, yeah.
So it's always
Yeah, normally, champs always red corner.
Or the highest rank.
the highest seed,
Yeah.
always red.
It's a blue corner.
And have you taken note of how many blues you've been? And I guess you're...
Oh, not really.
You were blue against Gilbert because he was higher ranked.
Yeah.
than you were.
You gave us a red, so I don't know who that was against, but Charlie Sue
Kev,
the
you would have
hat.
been. Oh no, but Kev walked second because did Kev walk second?
Oh, who was Suntan
You were
Gate?
probably
the
higher
Russian dude?
ranked than him.
Who was Suntan Gate? That pink Russian you fought who got burnt? Well, he was
I would have been
Dagestani.
blue corner then. I would have been blue.
No, I
corner.
think that they put you. I think you walked second though, because sometimes they change. If it's not a high profile guy, like in Perth, I think Randy was probably more
I was
senior in the
red.
UFC than you, but we went
Yeah.
red corner because it's
Yeah.
the local hometown favorite.
Yeah.
So the one who walks second, your music plays last. You know the crowd. You get the pop of the crowd.
Yeah.
It's more of an honour, hey? You don't have
Yeah.
to wait as long and
Yeah.
stand in the ring.
Yeah.
I imagine that would be torturous, just standing there waiting for your opponent.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's going to be that Montreal. Wish we could get over there, eh?
What's that?
It's
Oh,
just going
yeah.
to be insane. Are you happy you
Yes,
did the
yeah.
flight to do? I know those press conferences can be like tedious at times. Even Sugar was saying, sort of, he couldn't be fuck on to Miami, but like they said, you have no choice, get on the plane.
That was
Pretty
weird,
much,
that press
pretty
conference.
much.
Did you watch it?
He clearly was giving out a vibe he didn't want to be there. Hey, did you pick up that?
I didn't even watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, but you've got to do it. But are you happy you kind of did that flight just to like get a feel of the place?
Yeah, I was happy to go. It's a long one. It's like the longest place you can get to.
Is it freezing
Feels
when you were there?
like- Yeah, it was cold. It was freezing. But yeah, I'm glad. It was cool to check it out. Just know what the place is like.
Is there much altitude, you know?
Nah, it's no altitude.
Yeah.
No altitude. It'll be pretty cold.
Man, the
cool,
amount
yeah.
you were sweating today.
Yeah, sweaty.
It's not till you're wearing
Sweaty
little
boy.
sockettes on the mat and you stand in a puddle
Yeah.
that you realise the amount of sweat, hey?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sweater, eh? I'm a
Dude,
sweater.
you
makes the weight cut easier.
Had some good, long, hard rounds, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We're in the crunch time, so just yeah.
How do you get your electrolytes back after that much sweat?
just a lot of
Steals my
Gatorade.
fucking water.
yeah, he's doing it now.
Do you supplement much of it?
Yeah, I'll have a electrolyte. True Protein have a solid electrolyte product, but yeah, I just have like even just sports drinks like Gatorade, electrolytes.
Yeah.
and even so, it's just salt.
Yeah. And that was your morning session. Are you done for the day, or will you sometimes do something?
Normally I do 2 sessions a day. I've had a big sort of Monday, Tuesday, so probably have a rest. Wednesdays normally I have a rest, recharge, and then couple sessions tomorrow, and then probably a couple sessions on Friday.
We kind of play it by ear at this stage. As you saw today, Jack did 9 5s today, sort of sparring and live drilling.
9 5s equals 1 pull, I tell you.
Yeah, one swimming pool. But we can then, so that's money in the bank. That's like, if we know he can do that and output still, we know the cardio's there. So it's more about now listening to Jack. If he's really fucked, we say, oh, take the afternoon off. But he very rarely does that. But it's about being flexible. You don't have to do every session. You listen to the body. If you get a niggle, we'll stop. Jack's in a privileged position 4 weeks out or 3.5 weeks out of being ready to fight. So now it's about managing Jack and managing his energy levels and managing his fatigue and managing his injuries and all that kind of stuff, and just making sure now Jack can fight and he's fit. So now we just make sure we get him to the cage in the best shape possible without taking the foot off the gas too much, and we can still get a lot fitter in 3 weeks. So we'll be pushing to do that.
From a coaching perspective, Ben, watching you, because obviously Charlie came and he was like obsessed. Watching you guys, you had Ryan and Josh, and Jack's training. You're all in different angles on the mat watching. Are you observing? Do you guys, from a coaching reflection, go, what are you seeing? Like at times, like
100%.
there are different angles on the mat. You're seeing different things, or is that stupid?
I don't think it's. I wander around because I can't stand still, and I'm always trying to get different angles and look from different perspectives. But we would more speak before about what we wanted Jack to do, and then watch Jack trying to implement, and then give little pointers and stuff. And we discuss amongst ourselves, and then in between rounds we try and relay that information, and then and Jack tries to implement. So it's good to have 3 sets of eyes though. We've all got slightly different views on things. So it was good to have all 3 coaches just focused on Jack today.
Yeah.
And that was the point of moving the session from the other gym and to really focus on Jack, because sometimes in the big session when there's 20 people there, you can't help but something happens over there and you go over there, or someone asks you a question. So it was nice to just have the full focus of the team.
Yeah.
How do you go from that, Jack? Because you hear comments, and you're obviously a real natural fighter, and you go off a lot of instinct. I heard Volks coach Joe Lopez saying how much he loves your fighting style, and he goes, "You're a real natural, instinctive fighter. That one of the more natural he's seen." Do you sometimes get into a flow state where you're getting information from your coaches, but you'll just go off what you see or how you feel?
Yeah, I
and
always
then give
try.
it back?
Yeah, I trust the coaches. I try and I get whenever they give me pointers, I think they're pretty valid. So I'll try and for sure, I'll try and implement what they're saying. And normally, most of the time, it pays off for sure.
And sometimes you don't hear and you just crack on. It's it's a case of take what you can. If you get it, generally what we say would be useful in the moment. So if the moment passes, there's no point oh, what did they say? What am I supposed to? You just go, oh, I didn't get that, move on, keep doing what I'm doing. Then you wait for the next cue might come. And we try not to be too long-winded in the corner. It's more little punchy cue words and maybe 2 or 3 words just to get Jack back on track and focused into what we want him to do.
Yeah.
Or if we see something on the fly that, but it'll be short and sweet. And to be honest, most of the work's done by the time we get there. We're just shouting things out that we see, but if Jack doesn't hear, then it doesn't matter that much.
And how about your weight right now? What's your sort of walk around?
Pretty good. Just normally
91 on Monday.
Well, I checked myself after. I was after training the other day. I try not to check myself too much because it sort of plays on my head a bit. But after training, pretty sweaty sesh. As you see, a lot of sweat. I probably had would have drank 4 liters of water during the session as well, and maybe a Gatorade.
And Benny's water.
Then I was at 84 kilos
after the session. And what were you before, you reckon?
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. But
you probably evened out what you've put in and what you've put out.
I drank a good 4.
Nah, my sockets beg to differ. There was more than 4 liters down there.
So I think the weight should be good. I'm gonna try and come in a bit lighter. Obviously, longer sort of fight. So don't want to leave too much in the weight cut.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go in there pretty light and
Have you talked to Volk since? Because I know he tapered his weight down slightly different this camp.
Yeah.
He actually looked pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah.
You wonder if that's sort of a good thing to do.
I think it's a good thing. I think the weight cut can be hard, and I think if you can take pressure off yourself in that point, it's always going to be better.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to be too light where a big wrestler will be able to grab a hold of you, but also I think you're probably better off just going a bit lighter.
And have you ever missed weight?
Nah, never.
Close?
Nah, I don't. Nah.
Really?
To be honest, no. I've never had a. Obviously, the weight cut. Some weight cuts are a bit tougher than others. Some easy. Most of the time, they're pretty easy.
Oh, you did the double in 2 weeks, eh?
It was 1 week, Friday, and then the next Friday. So they weren't too bad.
You made it a sport at that point, eh?
Yeah.
I never panic. I never asked Jack about his weight. I never panic about Jack's weight.
I've
He's never missed weight.
cut
So
where I've thought I was
why
gonna-
would we?
Yeah.
Why would we make it an issue? You know,
Yeah.
Jack's got it under control. He knows what he's doing. He's done it 19 times,
Yeah.
20 times now. Well, an extra
Yeah.
one. So yeah, just it's a shit part of the sport, but Jack's very good at
Normally
it.
get it done pretty quickly,
Has Belal
pretty
ever,
efficiently.
has Belal ever missed weight in his
I don't
career?
think so.
Nah.
I don't know.
He looks like he's reverse aging, though, doesn't he? Like
Yeah.
he looks in way better shape now than he did early in his career.
Have you always valued his skill set? I know he's been given a lot of shit for just being Belal.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's one of those guys that has gone underappreciated, and everyone's starting to go, "Fuck, he's a fucking good fighter," and he's got to where he is for a reason. Have you always seen him and gone, despite the outside stuff about him, he can fight?
I don't know about always. I mean, of late, on this run that he's been on, he's beat everybody. So you have to stand up and take notice of how good he is, because he's beat a lot of good people. You can't do that if you're not good. I wouldn't say he wasn't a fighter that anyone took any notice of until he became in the top 5 and people had to take notice of him. He's just not a memorable guy to watch fight. So he's not a guy that you're going to select, go to UFC Fight Pass and let's go. Well, unfortunately, my search history on UFC Fight Pass is all Belal over the last 6 weeks or so, or 2 months since we've known about the fight happening. But before then, I can't say I've ever chosen a Belal fight to watch.
Yeah.
So honestly, but I'd never would disrespect his ability. I don't like watching him fight, and I don't necessarily like the style with which he fights, but I respect it and I appreciate it. And he's obviously very good.
Yeah. And it seems, because I remember watching against Leon, it just seemed his body type, even though they'd fought before, it just seemed his height was the thing that's why I was asking before about fighting with Volk, if you thought it was good practice, because he just seems that much shorter that he gets underneath people better.
But I also think you can't. The thing about Belal, having watched a lot of his fights recently, for me, Leon didn't show up.
Yeah.
Gilbert bust his arm, and Brady kind of crapped himself after he got hit in the face a couple of times. So it's hard to read too much into how good those performances actually were. And a lot of people rave about Belal's strength of schedule. But watching Leon go the last few times, who's he beat? What Leon has he beat there?
Yeah.
Same as Gilbert. Jack finished Gilbert in 3 rounds. He couldn't finish Gilbert in 5 rounds with a bung arm.
Yeah.
And Jack had 1 arm. So I read these things differently maybe than others. I think that Belal's fought some washed guys too,
Yeah.
So I don't put too much weight into his strength of schedule.
And you're your eyes, though, you've got such a trained eye. You're seeing stuff that, the average punter like us, we're just not seeing it. Whereas you're breaking stuff down. So I really trust your word.
Oh,
Do you watch much tape, Jack? You don't really, eh?
Yeah, I do
You
watch
do?
a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched a bit of his fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the most exciting guy, but so he's good at winning. A lot of the people that are good at winning, they're not always the most exciting people. Like GSP, I think he copped a bit back in the day. People would say he's a bit boring,
Yeah.
and then once the career's done, then you look back and you go, oh, he's
It was more that he was exciting, but then once he started having all these records, he just had to win.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
just started doing anything
Yeah.
to win. Hey.
So I think he's good at Belal's good at winning, but I think he's there. He's shown that he can be beaten. Yeah, so I think it will get him.
So exciting.
It's do you feel a full wave of because I've been hearing all of our crew, and obviously in WA everyone's it's JDM state, but even after I was at Par City on the weekend watching Volker, the whole crowd were obviously losing their mind, and then they were all like JDM next. Like everyone was a buzz around. There's people heaps of Della shirts there. Like it's pretty sick to see.
It's
like,
pretty cool.
do you feel like Australia's kind of jumping on the back?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a nice. It will be a nice month for Australian MMA, or the last 4 weeks. 2 belts.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how many Aussies roll up because there's so many Aussies in Canada.
There's a few from the gym coming out.
I reckon you'll get a few that are living in Canada that will make the effort to get to Montreal. Hey?
Yeah.
I think there's 10 or so coming from the gym. My old coach is coming from the UK, so he's gonna, which is brilliant for me. Like he's a big part of obviously my journey. So for him to come and make the effort to, as a guy that's a recluse and doesn't like leaving Portland where he lives in the UK, for him to like make the effort to come out.
That's
and he's
cool.
a tight bastard, so to spend a bit of money as well. It's going to be cool for me to just be able to share that moment with him because he was obviously pivotal in where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You even watch like Joshy and Ryan like on the match day, but like your brother, he'd be so proud as well. Like what you guys have achieved collectively. Imagine if you get to put that strap around you and like your parents. Like, that's one of the first memories I have is when we went to the Italian club to watch you fight way back in the day, and your parents kindly had us into the stage area, and your dad was like. Came up to us, we were chatting to him, and we were like, "Are you nervous?" And he's like, "Nah, it's just like watching a rugby game." Like the way he kind of viewed it to like come nervous. It's like, fuck, there's been so many people on your journey. Obviously, your partner and family. It's going to be insane to see you reach the pinnacle of the sport. You get the opportunity to do it, so you've already won. Like in that
it'll be
regard.
surreal. It will be really surreal. I haven't really thought about it too deeply, but I think it will be a surreal moment.
Is Michelle and the fam heading over with you?
Michelle and the fam are going to come.
Yeah.
So they're keen. So they're good.
But you're going
Big
solo,
trip.
Ben?
I'm going solo. Yeah, it was just too expensive, and for a short period of time to travel all that way with kids, it's just a bit too much.
That's the first fight, man, on the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Get them asleep.
Yeah.
And you know what? You actually want to you want to remember
the corner.
that you're going to work. Like this misconception that we fly around the world having the time of our life. Yeah, we choose to enjoy it. Because what else are you going to do? Every time we go, we've always had it in our brains. This is a little adventure, and we're going to enjoy the adventure. But there's a job to do, and you need as minimum distractions as possible, and you need your rest, and you need your downtime, and it's a good time to like batten down as a team, and just get around each other and just really focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, you do forget, like, as a viewer watching the Champ Cam, seeing all you guys hanging out, like Craig and Adam Jones and all that. I was thinking, man, that would be so sick. And then you actually think about what you're actually doing in there. Like, it does look like good times and hanging out, but it's brutal, hey? Like, the sessions are hard. Like,
especially for him, because he's cutting calories at this point. Right? So every day he's calorie depleted, which Jack does really well. Some fighters just sit in their bedrooms for that fight week outside of any... But Jack likes to be out and about. Doing stuff.
Yeah, you boys is torture. Don't make it easy for him. I've watched your videos. He's like... cutting weight and you guys are ripping into burgers and hey, what are you doing to it?
Jack loves it. He lives vicariously through us in that way.
Do the senses get overwhelmed? You're hell hungry or like you smell the burger more? Are these guys just hooking into it?
Better.
There was a fight trip I put Ryan Gray was fighting and Jack were fighting on the same card, and they shared a room. And Jack liked watching about food when he was cutting weight, and Ryan couldn't stand seeing the food when he was cutting weight. So there was a bit. Jack was torturing Ryan with the food. But I think Jack likes the food porn.
Yeah, you are into your barbecuing and meats and shit.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like cooking.
Remind me when we go up there, I've got this dry aged ribeye on the bone right now in the fridge. 14 days old. You should see it.
Yeah,
it's getting cooked tonight. It's a special day.
We all invited or what?
Yeah, I've got a pulled pork brisket, pulled pork belly in there right now. No. Have you got a smoke or anything?
Probably 6 years ago, I was driving down the road and we saw like one of those big offset like smokers. Someone was like Verge collecting it. So like I went and asked the guy if he was like getting rid of it. And we got a trailer, took it home.
You got a free Traeger?
Man, it was a brand, it was like a brand new offset smoker. The guy, it was like massive. It's like, probably the size of this room. And the guy was just getting rid of it. He's like, it's too hard. Don't know how to do it.
That is
just
so
had it
sick.
ever since,
Man, you should drop him off some smoked meat one day.
yeah. So we've been do briskets and beef ribs and stuff in it. It's an effort, but It's good.
It is, but it isn't, hey?
It's chill, yeah. If you got the day, it's nice. You just sit, have a swim, have a few beers or something.
Yeah.
Cook up a feed.
You're a full chef now, eh?
No, I'm amateur. I'm still trying to learn. That's why I've been so patient with this ribeye on the bone. Like I'm real nervous. Hey, I don't want to stuff it up. But I guess once you got the probe in, you can't really go too wrong.
Yeah.
Once you don't go past the temperature.
Benny's just dead quiet. Eh? You're an air fry guy.
No, he's a barbecue lord.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got.
I don't mind. Like we're lucky when we go away because everyone likes to cook and everyone can cook. So we eat like kings because we got so much time. And meals is kind of
a small king though, like a small king.
What do you mean?
Good. Oh, I have a small
baby king.
It's a small meal. It's like I eat good.
Jack has to make. But it is the time of day that if Jack can only have limited calories, we want to make sure that he's enjoying what he's eating.
But is your limited calories like 2,000?
No, probably that last sort of week it's minimum. It's not that much.
Like less than 2,000 you're eating?
I don't know. I would maybe. I don't actually.
You just know portion size for each meal.
I'd sort of just wing it, but I'm probably about 1,800 calories.
Yeah.
Like everything Jack does, it's all intuitive. Like he's just done it that many times. He kind of knows where he's at, knows how he feels. Yeah. Like I just don't get it. The one time it was hardest was when an bloody dietitian came. He was trying to be all scientific, and Jack's like, "No, I've got this. Like I've done this millions of times." And then his toes were burning like sausages. And he pulled the pin. He got put in this hot blanket that we don't normally do, and he was supposed to stay there for 10 minutes, but he was in there for a couple of minutes. He's like, my toes feel like sausages. He just got out.
He got sausage toed,
and he was on weight when he got out, so it was good that
because he had no toes.
All his toes had fell off.
Offset smoked his own toes.
Do you reckon smoking weed makes you a better cook? Because I feel like you got more passion for it.
I think it makes you better at everything.
Because you don't know, there's not too many stoners or guys that smoke weed that are bad cooks, because they know it's kind of part of the lifestyle. Eh?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few out there that just eat Cheetos as well.
Yeah, are they more into the snacks?
No, I reckon the one that takes like pride in it knows it's like they look forward to.
Each stoner is different, mate. Yeah. They're a very select bunch.
That's a weird segment.
Nah, because Benny, I'm just thinking of Benny just in his element having a bit of.
But it is nice, like out in the garden,
literally
nice joint on the barbecue.
I can picture Benny.
Can smash a good burger. Then.
Yeah, sun going down. He's got his little apron on, no pants, just looking at cool.
No apron either. But I've got a little something on.
The front gate's open just in case. Benny Dickers just doing his best work.
Oh, it's like being in primary school.
And now it's exciting as well about Becca.
So exciting. If anyone ever deserved like this opportunity, it's him. You know, what he's done to come back from snapping his leg in half, and just the time he did it. You know, he was on the verge of going to the next level, and then just to have 18 months or 14 months, I think it was, out, and then to come back and fight Dave Martinez, who we know all have found out how good Dave Martinez is now. Dave missed weight. Jack still fought him. Close fight. I mean, he's given Dave Martinez the hardest fight he's had of late.
And that guy might be telepathic.
Yeah?
Little side note.
Really?
Yeah, no, I've been listening to the telepathy tapes, eh?
Really?
He's got
He
special...
knows what's coming before.
Yeah, I reckon he's got special skills, eh?
Dave, I don't know what you're talking about. He's definitely got special skills, though. But yeah, to fight Martinez, a guy of that caliber on your comeback fight from a broken leg. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but good 3 rounds in the bank. You know, lots of.
I was there to watch that fight. That was
Sydney.
He's a freaking beast, that dude, eh?
Yeah, and now he's up at welterweight winning belt. So it just goes to show you what he is. And for Jack to like take that fight, no questions asked on his first fight back, and. Yeah, it didn't go his way, but he didn't get disheartened. Into the next fight, wins that, loses the next one. You know, he's a bit inconsistent coming back, still trying to figure out exactly where he was at and what he was doing. And in the gym now, he's better than he was before he broke his leg. You know, he's just figured everything out. And he's worked so hard mentally, and he's invested so much money in other forms of coaching and in himself to get to where he is now. So I don't see anyone stopping him or getting him in
physical
his
training he's doing with the water in the bottles.
Yeah.
His shoulders today, man. I was looking at him. He look like I haven't seen him in a while, but his shoulders look so big, man.
He looked like an
good
action
shape.
figurine. I saw him today. Yeah, he looked like he literally like a figurine.
Yeah.
He's in good nick. Eh?
Yeah, he deserves it. I'm so stoked for him. Like, it's been a journey.
So for those that don't know, what is the great news with him? Because
So Jack Becker has got now a place in the Road to UFC competition. So he'll fight 23rd of May in China. If he wins that fight, then a couple of months later, he'll fight again in China. And then if he wins that fight, he goes on to a finale on a UFC card to get a UFC contract. So 3 fights away. It's all in his hands. No one can take it away from him. If he wins, he's in.
Oh, that's so cool. Is that a bit of a conflict with Montreal, the timing?
Well, only in that I've got to get a plane from Canada to China instead of Canada to
there
Perth.
to there.
I'm going to come home, actually, to see the kids for a couple of days and then go out
Yeah.
again after that. So
Have you been to China before?
never. And I never would have gone, if I'm honest. So, again, we talk about all this is an adventure. I love an adventure.
Yeah.
So, for me, going to China, a place I never would have chosen to go. It's going to be super cool to see what
Yeah,
it's all
man.
about over there.
why are they using China UFC? Are they
Road to UFC was built to get more of the Asian fighters into the UFC. So it was initially they didn't have that many Australians in it, and it was more the Koreans, the Japanese, the Chinese, those kind of guys, and it was their tournament. But now they've increased the talent pool to add Australia and New Zealand. So a few Anzac lads are getting a shot in it this year, but they base it
pretty
out
cool,
of the PI in Shanghai.
Yeah. Must be getting pretty big and pretty fast, the sport there, hey, with like Wei Lee and her success. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I can't remember the last time they did a show there, like an actual UFC show there, but it's a market every businessman would want to crack, right? Because there's so
Yeah.
many people there.
Yeah. How about the fights on the weekend? Did you sit down and watch them together or?
Nah.
No, not
But they were
together.
good.
But
I did
we,
watch them, yeah. Volk did awesome, right? He did great.
It was a mate. Were you nervous watching as much as?
Yeah, I was a bit.
Yeah.
I was nervous because, like, yeah, I guess so many people would have counted him out, and how the last 2 fights have gone, and how dangerous I guess Diego is. But yeah, he did his thing, and he's like back in fine form. So it's exciting to see like what he can do with this next run.
He looked amazing, eh?
Oh, man, he looked that first round, hey, once he got
Yeah,
him down,
just
he
dominant.
just was vintage Volk,
Yeah.
hey, everyone was saying it.
And his
Yeah.
chin held up. I was
Yeah.
nervous about. You're always nervous about that, but he looked he looked fine, didn't he?
Yeah.
Diego's a freaking
Zombie.
scary guy to fight, hey. How is his, like, that's his first 5-round fight, hey?
Yeah.
And he was still, like, look good in the
Yeah.
5th. Like, you'd expect someone for their first time doing that
He's
to
a
be
big guy as well. Big, yeah. So it's a tough fight.
You guys obviously saw it close hand, and you were sparring and training with Volks. I remember we spoke on the phone and asked how it's all going when you were over there. And you're like,
Yeah.
you said he was looking really good and felt strong. Hey,
Yeah. He's
So were you
solid.
confidently? Obviously, you don't know, but were you thinking, despite all the outside noise from media and people having question marks, being that close, and were you guys thinking like, fuck, he's looking as good as he, like vintage Volk?
Yeah, 100%.
As
I
much as
think-
you can in
Yeah,
training?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Vintage Volk, but it's also like one of those things. It's like that you walk like the fight. You walk such a tightrope, right? Like 4-ounce gloves. It's tough. It's a tough.
Like
one,
anything
but-
can happen
yeah,
kind of
like
thing?
Anything can happen, but obviously you can see him, and it felt like vintage Volk. Beast. Like if he had have lost, I would have been like, I would have been like, wow, like
Yeah.
So it's pretty. Yeah, I was nervous, but then also after seeing that first round, I was like, yeah, he's back.
So when you're sparring him in champ camp,
Yeah.
what gloves are you wearing there?
We mixed it up. We did different sort of sessions. Some sessions I jump in on like the Shark Tank, wear like bigger gloves. We did a couple of rounds with like, I guess like heavier sort of sparring with big gloves. And then also, I did some MMA, get quite a bit of grappling with him, and then a bit of MMA, glove sparring.
And is he, say he's in the tank or whatever, how many people are, like, is Craig cycling through and giving him like hard
Yeah, they
jiu-jitsu
do different
rounds? Or?
sessions. Like one session, they'll do a session where Frank Hickman would jump in, like try and wrestle Volk, and then he might do some, sparring with one of the boys, hit some pads with Joe, and then, Craig might take his back. So just like working through like 5 minutes of that sort of thing. So pretty just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No way of really winning, but more just staying mentally sharp.
I watched a cool video of Craig explaining how he identified Lopez's guard as being his sort of best weapon. So Craig was putting him in full guard, and he reckons from the start when they were first doing it, he was finding it quite easy to submit him, taught him a bunch of stuff like about sort of head position and all that. And by the end, he was saying he couldn't submit him from his guard. Like, and I was just thinking, man, that is how perfect's that for a camp. At the start,
Yeah.
you probably could have got subbed or whatever. Then you specifically work on one thing, and by the end of it, you're like, he just feels really good in that position.
Because Diego didn't really go there much, did he? Like, he didn't do much jits or attempts.
Didn't do any.
It was just the end of that first round.
Yeah.
But he got to the position, and that's what Craig was saying. Like, that was perfect. Like, what we done, he got up and then,
Had that, like a development through the camp.
Yeah.
What about from you? Like, because again, I listened to, it might have been Submission Radio, but Joe Lopez was talking, it was a while out before you even went over there, but he said, looking forward to having Jack and Ben. I've been speaking to Ben. He's coming over to help out with the camp, and they like gave you really good respect, that they love the way you fight, got a great relationship with you as a coach. Did you enjoy it from a coaching point of view? Have you seen Joey Lopez and that crew go about it?
Yeah, it's good for me because I go in my gym, so I don't get any outtakes. I don't get to see how other people do things. I like to develop. I like to learn. I like to evolve, and to see what the best, like the GOATs, doing in the gym is helpful. And Frankie Hickman's a genius with the wrestling, and a couple of little. We're doing the right things, but a couple of little details. The way I've learned is consuming, because I don't really have a coach myself. I haven't had for many years, 18 years now, probably since I had a coach. So it's hard for me to like, I'm picking up most of my stuff from watching fights, watching people in the gym, the foundations that I was taught a long time ago. So to have an actual wrestler there going, no, if you just put your hand here instead of here, and just little things like that that were game changing for me. So picking up those few things was priceless. And then watching Volk and just how he conducts himself, how he is as a person, how he exudes greatness. Like, he literally walks in a room and you think that guy's unbelievable. You know, he is a champ in every aspect of the word. You know?
100%.
And just seeing all that firsthand, and then hanging out with Joe. Joe's been doing this sport longer than all of us, you know. So listening to Joe, listening to what he's got to say. Brad Riddell was there; he's a genius in the MMA striking world, you know. So just picking up little bits and pieces from all these people is a dream come true for me. So I had a great time.
And can you see going forward, like going there a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're great for each other. They're very similar. Obviously, you want to train with as high level people as you can if you want to get better. And Volk's been around. He's done everything in the sport. Just for Jack to be around Volk, you know, and see how he conducts himself. And they're very similar people. You know, they're not that different. And that which makes me I went there confident that Jack was going to smoke Belal anyway. But then leaving there, I was like, wow, I'm even more confident now, because I see so many parallels, and then I see what Volk's gone on to achieve. And I don't see why Jack can't do the same thing.
Yeah. That's so awesome, hey?
Yeah.
And what about the other fights? What do you think of?
I thought Paddy Pimblett was impressive, eh?
Really impressive, hey?
Yeah, real impressive. And then I wonder, who will Volk fight next? I don't know. Would you give him that Gene Silver guy?
Not yet. I think
he was
he's
pretty good.
Far
He's
away.
exciting.
He's on a tear, that dude.
He was like, wanted Mitchell to die, eh?
He sort of, I think he almost felt sorry for that first presser, because it seemed he held back heaps, and since he was more respectful, like touching gloves and stuff.
I found the Pimblett, like you said, back to the Pimblett fight, I found him, he looked the best he's ever looked.
Yeah.
Paddy?
Yeah, and Chandler, I felt like it was hard to watch him when he held the blood in his face and he was like getting absolutely destroyed. I was like hoping the fight would get called, because it was kind of hard to watch. I don't know where you go with Chandler now. What do you do with him?
Yeah.
Or what does he
I don't
do?
know where
hasn't
you'd go
really
with
been
Chandler 5 fights ago.
I know, but like,
he's normally in like crazy back and forth fights, but that he just got dominated, hey? So
yeah.
That's
Kind
right.
of picked up where he left off with with Oliveira in a way. Like, he had his moments at the end, but like, don't you reckon he got smoked by Oliveira, didn't he? And then this was even worse.
I think Paddy's cooked him worse than anyone else has ever cooked him, and that's a compliment, because he's fought everybody, you know. So Paddy's good, man. I mean, like, now we'll see as he comes into the top echelon, he's going to get a really hard fight in his next fight. But every fight, like Paddy said in some of his media stuff beforehand, everyone's going to doubt me after this fight. They're going to say the next one's not, you know.
Yeah.
So
But that's
just jump on the train. He's enjoyable. You know, his persona's great. He's a great fighter. He's exciting. He fights how you want to watch someone fight. He's going for it. You know. So yeah, Paddy's the man.
Sausages, helmets. He was going all out. I love it. It was elite. How those kicks? He came out just throwing.
Yeah.
He was putting the pressure on him, eh?
Yeah.
I think
your
it's
thoughts?
awesome having his kind of jiu-jitsu because you're not even too worried about ending up on your back because he's got such a good guard that he'll take guard, you know, so he can throw big kicks, spin around, you know. If someone puts him on his back, he's kind of where he wants to be anyway, so.
Yeah, I think we briefly spoke about last week, but you guys being jits kings, like the sort of Aspinall mentioned the mobility in Paddy Pimblett's hips. Like he reckons he's so dangerous, like the way he can just get into positions quickly and
Flying
just, like,
triangles.
yeah, like is that something that you notice that he's really good at? Is that a threat if you're a striker? Like someone can do that?
Yeah, for sure. He's got an unorthodox, like the next gen style is slightly different, you know, than your run of the mill jiu-jitsu style. There's Marcus McKeever from Mandra Combat Sports Academy. He was at next gen for a while, and he's got that jiu-jitsu that when you first go with him, you're like, what's he even doing? Like, I don't know how to answer any of these questions. It takes a little while to figure their jiu-jitsu out. So to do it in one fight is tough. And I think Paddy has been grappling. Like, I remember on the Cage Warriors forum, which was a famous like forum back in the day in the UK. I remember him like on there when he was not even an amateur yet. It's so mad to see where he is now. But he's been doing it that long.
Yeah.
That it is intuitive, and his movements are kind of so forged in his head now. There's no thought process involved. It's just, it's all.
It was cool to hear him as well, how he blows out between each fights, but him explaining just because he's blowing out doesn't mean he's not training. Like people assume he gets big that he stops training, but he's like, no, I'm training every day.
I think he's eased back on that a little bit now. He's taking his career a little bit more seriously. Now he's at the top of the sport. I think you can't afford to. That could be the difference against Charles Oliveira, you know, having had 4 weeks of getting to 100 kilos, you know.
He doesn't get that big, does he?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's ginormous, isn't it?
He looked in his best nick ever, though. This fight, he looked really, like he'd
He's a
conditioned
big, strong
well,
man now as well. Like he might have been like a bit more of a boy when he
Had twins. Dad strength.
twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucked up. He obviously sleep in a different room.
Yeah, oh man.
'Cause
Imagine that
that'd
for your
be
first
tough.
kids, twins.
Yeah.
But he was looking jacked, wasn't he?
Yeah. How are you finding having two now?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's cool. It's obviously has it has its challenges trying to balance the but like it's awesome, really. Like Franco's 2.5, so he's running around, has like he's just like a little dude, like he just talks, You get to that age where they just chat to you about anything, and then it's funny just watching him like what he likes. It's good fun.
He's got the freshest kit as well. He's swagged out. How good's that line you guys have?
Yeah.
You say,
Yeah, my
well,
wife-
Franco's dad?
Franco's dad.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
We've
My
got
wife's been smashing it. Michelle's been smashing it with that. Which is it's pretty cool. Like just people love it.
Yeah, shout out to Michelle. She's sending us some stuff from
Oh,
Maya.
yeah, sick.
But it looks like it's a cool kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks, even the YouTube videos, right? People go check out Della's YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. The 2 videos you put out, the one of you inside the house giving you the inner sort of family
Yeah.
look. Even when you nearly decapitated, like there's like that helicopter.
Yeah.
That was so good. Like, they're the moments people want to see.
Your sauna looks good too, eh?
Yeah.
That's like a Finnish one, hey?
Yeah, it's like a barrel one. I've had it for like just 2 years. It's been sick.
Yeah.
I love a sauna.
Do you do what other recovery? Do you have any? I hear a lot these days about red light therapy.
I haven't done too much. Mainly just sauna, ice bath. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Bath,
the best.
hydrogen baths. Everyone's talking about that.
I haven't even
Hydrogen
done
bath. I've heard of hydrogen water.
Yeah.
Like you drink it, but I haven't heard of like getting
Apparently,
it.
bathing's next level. 20 minutes,
that. Wow.
and you feel new again.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so keen to try it. You can buy hydrogen bombs and just chuck them in a normal bath.
Oh,
Apparently.
yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
be interesting.
Who has a bath anymore?
Yeah, I don't have one. That's the thing.
Where are you going to do it? Madams. Let's drop it in there. Who's your, because you got a hell of a massage dude, eh? That's sports
Anthony.
massage.
Yeah.
Do you, how many days a week would you see him?
Probably once a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just once a week. But he's great.
He's good,
He
yeah.
helps out a lot.
Is he
Sounds
like
like
behind
Nichols.
Scrappy? Is he behind
Nah,
you?
he moves around though. He's
mobile,
He's
yeah.
pretty mobile, but mostly his place. But yeah, if I have any niggle, he normally gets it out.
Does he fly with you? Does he travel at all for any of the fights?
He's coming to Montreal.
Is he?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
which is sick. Yeah.
On the plane.
Yeah. So who's going? You got the OG crew, eh? Don't you? That's the plan. You got Joshy. Ryan.
If everything goes to plan, it will be Josh, Ryan, and myself with Jack. Then we've got Finn, our strength and conditioning coach, is meeting us out there, and Volks is coming. There's a bunch of the lads from the pro class that have just booked a holiday, and they're just going to come to the fights. Craig Jones is coming. He's coming to Perth, actually, I think, in the next few days to finish camp, and then we'll all head out to Montreal together. So hopefully it's the OG crew. You know, that's what it deserves to be. Obviously, there's a few things going on in the background, so someone might not be able to get there, but hopefully it all works out. And,
Yeah.
And we all end up there. But you know what? At the end of the day, as long as Jack's there,
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
and we'll get the job
Yeah,
done.
we'll
you know?
get
So
the job done.
but yeah, it's always good when we go away. We have a good time. As you probably saw from the videos, we try and have a laugh. We try and enjoy it as much as we can. But we take it very, like you didn't see a lot of training. We don't put too much training footage in the videos. But we'll train twice a day for the first few days we're there. And then in fight week, when the calories are really depleted, it'll just be a once a day sort of blowout tactical session. And then just shenanigans, really. trying to make the time go. You just have this like, it's like being on holiday, but with the stressful bit being right at the end. So you always have this constant thing in the back of your mind of what you're there for. But we'll try and explore. I've never been to Canada, so it'd be cool to like get around a little bit, try and see Montreal a little bit,
Montreal
and
would be cool.
see what adventures we can and what stuff we can get ourselves into.
Get Ariel to hook you up. Who are the local knowledge?
Yeah.
What do you?
He hooked us up. Yeah, where he actually said us. I can't remember what Tim was talking. And when I was there, we went to some deli that he was right into. He loved it.
Is he
Is that any
from?
good?
Is he from Montreal? originally, or
pork.
something?
I think no pork. Just pastrami.
What do you do, Jack? Say aside from you've had a long day training, you want to switch
Yeah.
off, you put on YouTube and watch something. Like, what are your interests aside from
Outside.
fighting?
I've
Surfing.
I'm spending
fishing.
time with the family, the kids. That's sort of a big part. But I guess I don't know. Yeah, it's sort of just I guess at the moment it's just training and then just spending time with the kids.
And then you just switch off. That's
Just
it. You're
switch
not
off, watch some fights. I like watching fights though. Normally when I get time to myself, I'll probably just end up watching some fights or boxing or some movie or something. But I'm trying to pick up. I'm trying to get back into surfing. I used to love surfing, so I'm trying to pick that up a bit more.
Yeah.
Get back into it. Hopefully, yeah.
You skated for a while. I remember you dropped in socks on the Arrow Green.
Yeah, that's it.
Before the contender
that's right.
series.
Yeah.
Well, in Windang, he wanted to jump off a 50-foot tower into the
Well,
into
did
the
you get
ocean.
stopped? Did you stop him, Benny?
I might have been a killjoy.
The
in
cold
that.
water. It looked pretty sick.
What
I
did
let
you
him
So-
swim with sharks, all right? That was one
Yeah, we
thing.
swam
But then I
with
drew the
sharks.
line at the coal bunker.
The cold
Jump,
water.
coal loader jump into the ocean.
That'd be nice.
Did anyone do it?
So, next time. I think people do it though. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was massive. Good 10-meter jump.
How was your little hunting hike on Volker's property?
That was sick.
that good fun?
Pretty cool. It was cool that Volk, took it. Yeah, got the whole experience and hunting with Volk, and then he cooked us a feed, which was sick.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he lives in a great spot. It's like 20 minutes from the beach, but it's like like farmland. It's like hills. On his farm, there was like deer and like goats, all wild deer, goats.
I
and
saw him eating some
fox.
venison soup that his dad
Yeah.
made or something.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
He's like Steve Irwin of the MMA world.
Yeah.
It's like catching snakes, putting them on his head.
He is like an Aussie legend.
He's a
yeah.
proper Aussie guy, man. He's brilliant.
It's
There's
sick.
probably no one more universally loved, hey?
Nah.
Like just you hear no one can say a bad word about
Yeah,
it.
I would have to think like maybe Australia's greatest. Like in my opinion, maybe Australia. Obviously, I'm a bit biased, but like Australia's greatest athlete, you'd have to put him up there.
Have to with what he did as well.
Yeah.
It is a story
Coming back.
that
When he's
people like.
36.
Maybe if he didn't win this one, you wouldn't put him in that list. But after winning this, I think you have to put him in the conversation.
The first ever guy to win the featherweight belt over 35.
I know that
Massive.
stat. That's
Yeah.
what had me worried. I was like, man, statistics are like statistics for a reason.
Yeah,
Eh?
Drake curse. Drake betted on it.
Yeah,
And he debunked all the curses. Did you see that?
Nah.
Yeah, so
I
the
see
over
that.
35, Drake betting on you that you'll win. Because usually that's a recipe that you're going to lose.
What
Yeah.
a man.
He's done it all.
He
But
is
genuine.
literally the man.
Because
He is the
he's like, obviously, we had him on years ago, and it was like, and we never forgot about that age. He's been giving us so much time. We've had him multiple times. Then obviously the Islam fight when you guys were
Yeah.
fighting in Perth on that card, he didn't have to. We messaged him and Ash, didn't have to get a sign. He invited us to the hotel, did a podcast with him and Jones and Hickman.
Yeah.
For like 2 hours, gave us their time when he's cutting weight. And it was like nothing. It was like he was just so genuine and
He's a real
welcoming.
gent,
It's like
Yeah.
that's rare. And you understand, like they don't need to give you time, but he's just always been a man of the people. Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you wish those people that all the success.
It's good
Yeah.
to see the good guys make
Yeah,
it.
fucking oath.
Because it often doesn't happen in this world, unfortunately. So it's when a genuinely good guy who is exactly what you see is what you get, then there's no controversy about Volk. You don't hear stories about Volk doing this and Volk doing that and
Yeah.
doing things he shouldn't be doing. He's
Seems like Diego could be one of the good guys too, though, eh?
Yeah.
He seemed like pretty.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
I've been a big fan of Diego since his rise
Yeah.
through the UFC. He's just so exciting.
Yeah.
I like fighters who are technical. Like beautiful violence is my thing. So I like guys that have good technique but want to kill people. Like that's what interests me in the sport. And they're the kind of fighters I like. That's what Jack is, right?
Yeah.
He's technical, but he's looking to finish you. Like he's not looking to eke out a decision or squeak through the fight. He wants to find a way to win, and the way that Jack wants to win is by putting you unconscious.
Yeah.
Goes to Randy Brown. Randy Brown, I'm a fan of him, eh?
Yeah, I love him too.
I love him after you fought him, and then he's got these little tiny desks, all these little tiny office interviews he does. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he's good. Oh man, it's exciting, boys. It's still sort of surreal.
Yeah.
Appreciate you boys coming as well for the tradition. It's the
Yeah.
pre and
That's
post
good.
one, eh?
Well, next time we come, we'll have the belt. Fuck it.
Yes.
How good's that?
How good with that?
So,
mate?
yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
And
Well, we appreciate the support.
Yeah.
I feel like I live on this podcast. Apologies to the listeners, but yeah, we appreciate you guys getting behind us and the Grin Reapers crew and Perth. Everett Jack got stopped out coming out, but he got his meat for his fight camp.
Yeah, Barbaro Butcher.
Barbaros, and then who was that fella that stopped you? Was that just a random?
Just a local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perth's onto it.
oh fucking hell.
Yeah.
Remember at Mark Normand or at Regal? There was a lot of career hitting you up.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Do you know what I love is we went down south and we were in Margs and we went to the Rusty.
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember
that-
Letty
yeah.
and Wade and that was
Yeah.
introduced you and that was their first touch point with you. And now every fight they're like,
He said, yeah,
they're
that's
frothing,
it.
they're fully
It's
on board. Eh?
Yeah.
Letty,
But
Wade,
But the
all
biggest
sorts.
celebrity of that thing was Whitey.
Yeah.
I never realised what a big deal you were in the
Legend,
surf
yeah.
community, mate.
Big in
until-
Japan.
Yeah, road to UFC. You're on, man. That's your people. China,
Different country.
And whenever I go to the Gold Coast,
Yenny Vickers.
the crew over there always ask me, when is Tension 11 dropping?
We're still asking.
Middle of the year, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
That's what he said
Wait,
last
it's the
year.
middle of the year. Which year?
2027.
Well, how's so shout out before seeing the Gold Coast, Cam. Robin's been getting a few wins, eh?
Yeah, Robin fought last Eternal in the Goldie. She fought a really good jiu-jitsu girl, Healy Diane, whatever her name is. She's Absolute with Lockie Giles and them for a while. She's moved to the Gold Coast. And Robin put a clinic on her.
Yeah, great fight.
Robin bashed her up. And she had her show this weekend, Proving Grounds. Now she's back in Perth training. She's going to fight again on the Gold Coast in June 21. So
Exciting.
She's coming for Casey, yeah.
I think they should be kept apart, those two, for sure. But we're also opening a new gym in the sunny coast as well.
Ooh, yeah.
So Oasis Fight Academy coming soon. So any of your listeners over there on the sunny coast, John Fraser, middleweight king, is opening a gym over there with a couple of other lads. And Cam and I are helping him out. So,
Oh, that's so cool.
if you're in the sunny coast, you want some good training, then hit up Oasis Fight Academy.
He started his own pod for a bit. I don't know if he kept it going, but that was really interesting. Eh?
I think the subtitles thing done it. Like no one could understand.
He's a good dude, though. Eh?
Yeah, he's a
Stony,
legend.
friend from Sunny Coast, all their crew. He trains with them a bit. Says he's a freaking weapon. Eh?
Hopefully they'll be in the gym there, the new gym.
Oh, he will for sure go there. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
and if you
exciting.
guys are ever over there, you should definitely swing in.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend, before the next return, I'm going to spend a week in the sunny coast, camping with Kyle Noak and the kids, and and then doing some teaching in the gym, and then down the coast for Eternal on the weekend, taking the fam over. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. I feel like Danaher over here. Now I'm wearing this. I feel like I need to go train. Eh?
Yeah.
Just
a
roll
lifestyle.
around in the garden, man.
And yeah, shout out to Erceg as well. He's had a bit of a that was really good doing that Q&A with you and the boys. But I feel like he's got his best stuff in front of him still too, eh? Like
Yeah.
Well, think about his entry into the UFC. He's fought only ranked opponents. I think.
Yeah.
Did he have one guy outside of the top 15?
Yeah.
And he's just had a baptism of fire. He was a gnat's cock away from winning the world championship.
Yeah.
Then he's fought Kai Kara France, who probably fights next for the world championship, and Brandon Moreno, former 15-time flyweight world champion.
Yeah, how can, yeah.
Like, what a run of fights. And he is not out of place there.
Yeah.
Like, in another
Both
day, he
those
wins
fights,
those fights.
Pantoja
you know?
is so like a coin flip decision, and then
Yeah.
also Moreno, like he looked in control. He
Didn't
looked
quite
like
get the
he was,
points, eh?
he just didn't get the points up.
And fighting's a confidence game. Like, however good you are, sometimes to pull the trigger, you need confidence, and the winning gives you the confidence. So I would really like to see Steve take a few steps backwards now, get matched up with someone of equivalent experience to himself within the UFC, and let's really see Steve make his next push.
Yeah.
But I still think, I said it on this podcast, like, I think he's going to be a world champion. I still think he is. He's that good, you know. Yeah, don't write Steve Erceg off yet. You know, he's had the toughest run of any flyweight in UFC history.
Yeah. And you've seen that sort of division, they're all, on any given day, or I guess the UFC in general, anyone can win. But like, you've seen Kai Kara France lose a couple when he's come back and he's going to be fighting for the top. Like, it happens a lot. It's happened to
So you got time to fight.
It's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed, but it's,
He's got to be up there.
Yeah.
In the
and
picture.
Moreno's had it. They kind of yo-yo all of them, don't
Yeah.
they? Like,
Yeah.
It's not a massive division, so if he goes on a run, he could definitely. And the fact that he pushed Pantoja so close and Moreno so close, and was looking good against Kai until he wasn't. You know, like that's just the kind of fighter Kai is. He'll find that shot on you at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Steve's got plenty of gas in the tank, and I hope the UFC back him and manage him right from here on in and get him on his next run to the title.
where's Drilich at? Sorry, just from Perth MMA.
Drilich is fighting in June 28th. He'll fight for the interim flyweight title. Unfortunately, the flyweight champ is out. Just blew his knee out. They were matched to fight, so we'll put an interim on the belt because it's quite a long injury, and he's already been out for a while, the Japanese fella. So Drilich is about to fight for the interim title against Shane Parker, a former Commonwealth Games wrestler. Just fought in Sydney and beat Sean Etchell. So, you know, he's up there. He's a good fighter, but, you know, I expect Ant to take care of business, and hopefully two stoppage wins should be enough to get him back on Contender Series, and he can have a proper crack at it.
How good. All right. Well, Frick, thanks so much
The
for coming in.
kids are circling, mate.
Are they?
they're like, "Oh, Dad, I'm bored."
Appreciate you coming in. So good luck on this next
Cheers,
trip.
boys,
So when
thank
do you leave? Like 2 weeks?
2 weeks today. Yeah, get over there 10 days before. and
Australia's
just
gonna
get
be
into
cheering
it. Yeah,
really
it's gonna be
loud.
good.
Well, we're going to represent,
Yeah,
as
we
always,
will.
and
We'll show up
Jack's
for
going to
sure.
do Jack things, and
Give it our best.
yeah.
We're all behind you, boys. You guys
That's
have
it.
fucking been amazing. Keep it going.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, boys.
Much appreciated.
And big shout out to all the YouTube subscribers, sponsors, and patrons. Love you all. Peace.
See you.